to go in the third. Holy smokes, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was something, obviously, one thing that anybody that was there that night will never forget.
Adossi going away they go. Everybody's got a partner.
That night, I think the movie 300 might have had something to do with that, with those two guys watching it before the game, getting all fired up. I still remember it too. I mean, I still talk about it. I share that story, just watching two guys take on five.
Well, the Aces wanted this in December. Oh, heck broken loose.
It was for the team, it was for the fans, it was for our city, because everybody knew what had happened. It give them some satisfaction too, like, hey, this is our city, this is our team. Don't fire truck around.
Yablonski following up the play left wing side, but it'll be offside on the steal as now Jeff Smith met in the near wing corner. Yablonski and Smith. Yablonski's dropped the mitts. Yablonski throwing a couple of right. Smith wants nothing to do with it, and Yablonski will just hammer away, and Smith will turtle up on the ice.
We were up in Alaska, I believe, a couple weeks before, shorthanded, and didn't have a whole lot of toughness, and they kind of took advantage of it, I guess, if you want to say. And then we got them back here a couple weeks later, and Nickerson and Yabo, I think, had fun with that. I mean, it maybe got a little out of hand, but you know, it was part of hey, you sort of started this, and we'll finish it. So
especially, you know, a guy like Yabo, who everybody knows and has played with, he gives his heart and soul for the team and anybody on his team. So when you do something to hurt a guy on his team, he's going to make sure that he takes that into consideration when you guys are coming back. So
it was, me and Nickerson set it in stone that something was going to happen, because, you know, there's the unwritten rule of the game. You know, everybody knows the rule, but nobody really knows what it is. And we were going to make sure that you know, we were taking care of business. This was like I said, it was like a family, and every team that's good should be like a family. Our brothers, you know, they took a beating up there, and it wasn't going to go unanswered.
Nickerson tied up with an Aces player. It's Florian Eber in front. Those two still have their gloves on. Nickerson's now dropped his glove, and he hits Eber with a right. Eber then covers up. Joey Hope comes for some love, and Nickerson will start feeding him some right. Nickerson with a right uppercut, and down to the ice they go. Yablonski trying to get at Jeff Smith. Linesman trying to separate them, as Yablonski pulling through linesman, just trying to get at Jeff Smith, and the linesman trying to separate them.
We just waited for the right time, and we put things in place, and it just, you know, me and Nickerson were both out there, and I just told him, hey, I said, we're going to go out there. I said, just be ready. I said, because, you know, if I get a chance, I'm going to grab. It was the Smith guy, I think. And I said, I'm going to start up, and we're just going to take care of business. And then, you know, that was that.
mostly just jaws wide open, just enjoying the moment. I mean, you don't get to see that a lot. And when that guy's on your team, you can relax a little bit, you know. The Alaska bench was probably a little more tense. You know, for us, it was just, you know, a little bit of retribution. And, you know, it's Yabo doing what Yabo does, and that's him backing up his team. So, you know, it feels good to have a guy like that stick up for you, you know.
Well, the Aces wanted this in December, and now Travis White will try and jump in, as Nickerson was getting suckered by Eber. Nickerson with an uppercut, a couple of them on Eber. Oh, heck's broken loose. Smith trying to get back involved. He'll come after Yablonski. Shabert to grab him. Adossi going away they go. Everybody's got a partner.
you know, after a while, to be honest with you, because I've been in those situations on the other end of it, so it was kind of like starting to feel bad for Alaska, as bad as that sounds. But you know, you never know what's going to happen. But the start of it, obviously, it was like, I think it needed to happen. Whether or not it needed to happen, as far as it went, that's a different story and a different day to discuss that.
Yeah, well, you know, that's the thing. You know, guys were kind of coming in and trying to grab us, and the best thing they could have did, what they should have did, was just stay away. Let us take care of the guys we did. But you know, they want to step in, and you know, and we weren't in a mental state where like, you want to be a part of this, you're going to be a part of it. So we made sure they were part of it. They were just laying on the ice after.
To the right of Gustafson, Nickerson then with the right as the linesman goes down. Yablonski hammered Smith as well. Who wants some more, says the big fella. He's looking for anyone.
It was just, thanks a lot, you know. And the guys that did get hurt, game changer, like, hey, I appreciate what you did for myself, you know, what happened, our goalies and stuff. So, you know, coach was thankful. I mean, he didn't really tell us to do it, but, you know, Lax, he knows the game. He knows the old school hockey. He didn't have to tell us. I've been around long enough, and I think he was just waiting to see what would happen. He knew we would do something, but we did more than just something. But, you know, the adrenaline got going, and, you know, all those emotions were mixed up, and, you know, don't mess with our team.
Yablonski saying, bring it. Nickerson says, who wants some? Hey, you know what, folks? To be honest with you, this is what happened to the Steelheads at Sullivan Arena in Anchorage. And so if you want to run it in Sullivan, You got to run it here.
I mean, you have guys like that on your team, and it's just, they're nice to have, obviously. You know, being a smaller guy myself, it's always nice having a Yablonski and guys like that around for sure. So it's part of the game. It's not so much part of the game anymore, but it definitely, you know, the guys police the game themselves, which I think is a good part of the game of hockey.